We all know that Nintendo makes great games. Mario and Zelda aren't world famous for no reason. But on their new console, the Switch, Nintendo games aren't very cheap. $60 for every game is expensive. Even though some titles might be worth it, like the incredible Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild or Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, not all of us have the ability to shell out that kind of cash. Or maybe you really want to play some of those games, but you only have a PS4, an Xbox One, or a PC. Thankfully, I'm here to help you out. Welcome to VG Chat. I'm going to help you find alternatives to AAA Nintendo titles, namely these 8 up on the screen. But what do I mean when I say alternatives? Some random 3D platformer is no alternative for Super Mario Odyssey. I've done my research, and I have tried to make each alternative as close to the original as possible, with similar gameplay elements, graphic style, etc., as well as making sure that the price is significantly lower than whatever Amazon's currently offering them for. One more thing. All the games have at least one or more alternatives that's rated teen or below, in case you can't or don't want to play any M-rated titles. Sometimes it was surprisingly hard to find something like that, but I think that you guys will be happy with my suggestions. I recognize that they might not have that Nintendo feel you're used to, but they're close enough. Let's take a look, shall we? Oh, and heads up, I haven't played all of the replacements. I've spent a fair amount of time on all the Nintendo games, though. Sorry if I say something that's totally wrong. Please yell at me in the comments if I do. Super Mario Odyssey. We all know it's a great game. I don't think I've ever heard anybody say anything bad about this game ever, so this is gonna be difficult. For PS4, Xbox One, and PC, I chose A Hat in Time. Personally, I haven't played this game, but it has excellent reviews wherever I could find them, and I read that it took its inspiration from Super Mario 64, the game which Odyssey is also based upon. In addition, it's only $29.99 on Steam, PlayStation, and Xbox, as opposed to Odyssey's $43.39 on Amazon and $59.99 on Nintendo eShop. There's one small issue though. A Hat in Time isn't on the Switch. It's been confirmed to be coming, but currently has no set release date. So what are some alternatives for the Switch? These aren't nearly as good as A Hat in Time, but they have decent reviews and seem to have the same charm and cartoony feel as Mario Odyssey. My picks are Poi Explorer's Edition and Yooka-Laylee, the spiritual successor to Banjo-Kazooie. Poi costs $30 and Yooka-Laylee costs $39.99 on Switch eShop, both less than Odyssey. Nintendo Life's review of Poi even calls it an Odyssey alternative, so I'm clearly not the only one who thinks so. Next up, the Switch's other heavy hitter, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. For PlayStation, the answer's obvious, Horizon Zero Dawn, which costs $20. For Xbox One and PC, I found The Long Dark, a survival adventure game. It's not perfect, but it's the best I could find below M. Once again, it's been confirmed to be in development for Switch, but no release date has been revealed. If you are able to play M-rated games, Skyrim is available in every conceivable place, and is a solid $9 less than Zelda for Switch on Amazon. I hear The Witcher 3 is also a great open-world adventure, but it is, once again, M. So that leaves us with a bit of a problem. There are some good replacements, like Ys 8, Lacrimosa of Dana, but the price point is actually higher on Amazon than is Breath of the Wild. So a cheaper version of Breath of the Wild on Switch left me stumped. But I came up with Portal Knights and Okami HD. I haven't played them personally, but they have great reviews. Portal Knights focuses on leveling up, exploration, and battling monsters. Okami is a bit more for those who like the traditional structure of Zelda games, from what I understand, but it has a lot to do, and a lot to appreciate. Zelda might not have super duper replacements on Switch, but the ones that are coming up do. Trust me, stick around. Splatoon 2, everybody's favorite multiplayer online battle arena, or MOBA as the kids are saying. Thankfully, all of my solutions here are free, and they are all on every console, so I'm starting to regret buying Splatoon 2. First up, we have Fortnite, the game that supposedly everyone is talking about. It's not exactly the same as Splatoon, but the graphic style is comparable and is a decent multiplayer shooter. There are a bunch of great MOBAs, but I chose to mention Paladins and Arena of Valor here. I haven't played them that much, but I think you'll enjoy them. Both have unique characters with unique abilities, and I find that sort of variation in Splatoon fun. But what about a single player mode, I hear you cry? Well, I've got you covered. My answer? Warframe. Yes, this is an M-rated one, but only if you turn on gore. If you turn it off, the violence is hardly worse than Splatoon's. The enemies are scarier though. Its expansive campaign is remarkably similar to Splatoon's, with platforming, puzzles, and a variety of enemies. I will admit, it doesn't have the same fun charm as Fortnite or Paladins, but I think the core game is pretty close. My replacement for New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe probably won't come as a surprise to some of you. Here it is, Rayman Legends. This is an excellent 4-player platformer in its own right, and some would argue it's even better than NSMB U Deluxe. It definitely has a better title. Fun mechanics, imaginative levels loaded with way too many secrets, hectic 4-player multiplayer, this game has it all, along with many costumes and a couple of side modes. It currently retails for about $30 less than Mario on the Switch, and you can nab it even cheaper on PS4, Xbox, or PC. Another solid alternative is Runbow, an 8-player platformer. It's available on all consoles for $15, and it should give you that hectic multiplayer goodness that comes with Mario Bros. Octopath Traveler is the game on this list I have the least experience with, because I've only played the demo. But I came up with Romancing Saga 2 and Battle Chasers Night War. Romancing Saga 2 is a JRPG by Square Enix. It has a comparable art style and gameplay from what I understand. It costs about $25 on all consoles and PC. Battle Chasers Night War is slightly more expensive, but it does have better reviews than Romancing Saga. The graphic style isn't nearly as similar, but the overall gameplay is. Multiple types of people in your party, all with different abilities and personalities. There are many quests to take, foes to overcome, and places to explore. I think you'll like this one, despite its hopelessly generic name. Super Mario Party was tougher than I thought it would be, but I found a couple of replacements. The most similar is Carnival Games 2K, which costs only about $30 versus the $60 of Mario Party. I've heard it's a decent title with some fun minigames, and it works well with friends. If you want straight minigames, that's about the best you can do, but I've got some other great party games too. Super Bomberman R is great fun for up to 8 players. Jackbox Party Packs, any of them, are absolutely delightful, and some of the games can be played with up to 100 players. Wow! And some honorable mentions are Minecraft, which has some great minigame maps and allows you to make your own, and 12 Orbits, a surprisingly deep game with one-button controls that supports up to 12 players at once. Racing games are a dime a dozen these days, but the Mario Kart series has always held some of the best. These days, a whole lot of companies are throwing their mascots into go-karts, so if you want some mascot racing games, it shouldn't be too hard to find them. Aside from these, I picked Fast RMX and Riptide GP Renegade, $20 and $10 respectively. Both have some interesting mechanics, like doing tricks in order to fill up the nitro bar. I admit, they're pretty generic, but they're fun racing games for sure. And that's not to say there aren't a myriad of other racing games, because there are, but these are the best ones I've found that I've had significant experience with. And lastly, Smash Brothers. Super Smash Bros. Basically spawned its own genre, the platform fighter. And while there aren't a ton of platform fighters yet, there are plenty of good ones. Right off the bat, there's Brawlhalla, available on all consoles and PC for $0. Brawlhalla has a colorful cast of characters, but they're all similar enough that it's easy to pick up and play any of them. With 4-player multiplayer and online tournaments, there's a good chance it will fill that Smash Bros. Shaped hole in your life. If you want something a bit more like Smash, with similar mechanics, I suggest Brawlout. It's basically a direct Smash Bros. Ripoff, but a fun game in its own right. And it includes some fighters from popular indie titles, such as Hyper Light Drifter and Guacamelee. It's available on all consoles and PC for about $20. And for PC owners, I've gotta mention Super Smash Flash 2. It's surprisingly deep and detailed for a Flash game. It has many Smash favorites, including some highly requested characters, such as Sora, Bandana D, and Goku, and it supports up to 4 players. The controls might be a bit clunky sometimes, but it definitely feels like Smash. So guys, that was my list of good cheap alternatives to big budget Nintendo games. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Is there a game you'd like a replacement for? Did I get something wrong? If either of those, please tell me down in the comments. And if you'd like to help me continue making content like this, please like and subscribe, because it'd really help out the channel. Time to go now. VG Chat, out!